So everybody has that one movie where they watched it when they were young and they were like, that's a really good movie. They leave it alone for a couple of years and then they come back to watch it later. And then they just realize not necessarily how good it is, but more or less how, maybe not bad, but how much it's disappointing. And to me, A Charlie Brown Christmas is honestly really disappointing. This is a tough one for me to talk about because I do remember liking this movie. Hell, if I'm being honest, I like a lot of things in this movie. But I don't know what to say about it. I like the song at the end. I like the moral. But everything else, I don't know why, but I just find it utterly boring. And listen to me, I don't know how to say this, but I do not necessarily care for A Charlie Brown Christmas. And, well, it doesn't really help, and I'm not a fan of the Peanuts anyways. I haven't really liked Charlie Brown at all, to be honest. I can't recall that many things that I honestly did like of Charlie Brown, maybe aside from the Halloween special. Aside from that, I never cared for the Peanuts. Unlike with Scooby-Doo, I like Scooby-Doo. Unlike with SpongeBob, I like SpongeBob. Unlike with a whole bunch of Cartoon Network shows, especially the ones on Adult Swim, I like those, but with the Peanuts, they're usually boring, not funny, and are usually animated very poorly. And the animation, I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with in this movie, just because it is what it is. I get it. The animation wasn't the greatest, but my problem is that if you cannot focus on the animation, then at least make up with it in story. But the fact that in the story, the play that they are trying to make is never referenced again. The second that they make the tree that they needed all pretty is kind of a big problem if you ask me. I mean, the whole reason the tree is there is for the play, but when you never follow up on the play, it just kind of ends. The movie just ends after they're done singing. Now, before you crucify me like Maximus's family in Gladiator, I want to say one thing. This movie does have a couple decent things going for it, but the main thing that it has going for it is the moral. This moral about basically saying you can find beauty in anything, just as long as you look hard enough, is an excellent moral. Though done to death in Disney, this here was done expertly. With Disney and like DreamWorks, it's, for example, Fiona and Shrek. Well, I mean, yeah. Oh yeah, she's an ogre, she's ugly, she's a human, oh, she's pretty, but that's the thing, is that I like Fiona even when she becomes an ogre permanently, finding the beauty in something that may not be the prettiest. Especially with that tree. That tree is dreadful to look at, but then they pretty it up, and the moral about finding beauty in like the worst of situations and the worst of things is a good moral. But the other main thing that I do like in this movie is, well, the song. The song is very, very calm. It's relaxing. You can just sit by and listen to it as you're doing something else. You can, if you're trying to write a paper or whatever, this is an easy song to listen to because it doesn't distract you. Whereas if you're listening to something like Bon Jovi's "Living on a Prayer," it's going to be pretty hard to not start trying to start bobbing your head or trying to smack your hand down every single time he goes, "Ow." I mean, for the love of God. But I'm sorry. At the end of the day, A Charlie Brown Christmas is a rather bland short. And though not as bad as some other things I've seen, this was a rather disappointing movie. Though with a great moral and with a really good song, the movie falls flat due to some really very boring parts and somehow just manages to struggle along and feel very slow in a 25-minute runtime. I'm going to give A Charlie Brown Christmas a 5 out of 10. Once again, before you crucify me, let me tell you how the rating score works. 1 is complete garbage. 2 is terrible. 3 is bad. 4 is it's okay. 5 is average. 6 is decent. 7 is good. 8 is pretty good. 9 is really good. And 10 is amazing. And well, A Charlie Brown Christmas falls at a 5. It's an average movie. You can watch it if you are into, well, a slow-paced movie or whatever that just kind of goes along. And here's the thing. I understand why people like this movie. It's just with me, it doesn't do it for me. But if you like it, good for you. I'm happy that you enjoyed it. And well, speaking about happy things, let's send this off on a high note. Tomorrow, we are going to be looking at the movie, just been sitting here ever since day 1, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And let's just say this. That's a good movie for me to talk about. I hope you guys have a great day, evening, night, whatever the heck time you're watching this. Thanks for watching this, by the way. And I'll see you next time.